the day after Columbus Day. That's the beginning of the holiday season. You know, we got Halloween around the corner, Thanksgiving right behind it, and of course, oh yes, I mentioned it. Yes, I'm going to mention it. Christmas. That's right. You know, we're getting to that holiday season. But before we start, let me just give you a reminder. Don't forget, hit that subscription, hit that like, share this video. It's important on this because we are not well supported by YouTube. You, our viewer, are our most important resource out there because you enjoy watching this program. Share this along with other people that may enjoy this as well. We do appreciate it. Thank you for those who have subscribed. Thank you for those who have liked, shared, and even commented on there. We appreciate the comments that you've been giving daily on this program. Well, we've discussed this last week. Basically, the Vic Mignogna case, just to bring you up to date. The Vic Mignogna case, which basically Vic Mignogna, who was suing Funimation's, Ron Toye, Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, was dismissed after mediation. All counts were all thrown aside by the judge. And basically, we were up in the air and we did not know what was going on. The case started out all way back when Vic Mignogna had lost his job in Funimations due to accusations, unsubstantiated accusations from the Twitterverse, the internet, and all that. That basically there are no charges. He's never been in court for any of these charges. A lot of them are hearsay, and basically a lot that, because he lost his jobs, were due to those who sat there and either put things on the internet or contacted some of the companies that Vic Mignogna dealt with. And basically that put him into a point where basically he's not doing business with those companies no longer. Well, it's come out over the weekend, and we're waiting for a secondary confirmation from the law firm. Basically, in a 10-minute video over the weekend, Nick Rekieta threw out that basically he will be appealing this case. To take it from the words from Nick Rekieta itself, Mr. Mignogna, I am told, is going to appeal every single dismissed cause of action. So appeals are coming. They should be coming very soon. At the time of the recording of this video, I believe there are 10 or 11 days left to file that appeal. So we should be seeing that filing document soon. And you could follow the filing of that document and any responses on this channel. I do recommend, if you haven't yet, subscribe to Rekieta Law. He does have a good channel. It's not only Vic Mignogna case that he talks about. There are many other cases and law, issues that he does discuss, and it's a very good issues that he does online. And he's had other lawyers, other people on his show discussing various cases beyond the Vic Mignogna case. Now, I don't know why this went to mediation, because most people will tell you it was not going to be resolved in mediation. Funimations was not going to mediate on this, and neither is as arrogant as Ron Toye, Monica Rial, and Jamie Marchi are. They were not going to mediate through this on there, because basically they'd be declaring themselves of wrongdoing at this point. But, the thing about it is, when you look at the evidence, and I am, nothing against the judge. He must have saw something that we didn't, of course, sometimes, you're what do they call it? Armchair quarterbacking the case. But when you look at the situation, I mean, there's a lot of evidence there just from the Twitter alone that basically, people were throwing accusations left and right that basically weren't substantiated. You had situations where, going into the Monica Rial situation, it's, all about a jelly bean, and the with the situation that Ron Toye was calling companies, making threats that basically, hey, we're going to pull our table out of a convention if you don't basically put Vic Mignogna out. And, that's the wrong thing to do. You don't do that. And this is what the Meyer case also is in that situation too, where someone there, called a distribution center for a comic book and said, listen, don't carry this guy. Guy is an N-word, white supremacist, all this. And basically, when you look at it and you call somebody, you call another agency or company and start to disparage the person on there, that you're looking at lawsuits. And the way that, the situation with the one convention with Rontoye, that's totally wrong, and that should have been seen by the judge. I don't know why the judge didn't see it in that direction, but then again, maybe the judge saw something different than we did, and we just got to wait for the appeal on there. And I've been saying this a lot lately. One thing about the Twitter court is that they expect everything to be done the way they want it to be done. That if someone makes an accusation, you got to believe everything and stuff like that. Like another YouTuber says, I don't believe men, I don't believe women, I believe facts and evidence. That's the important thing, is the facts and the evidence on there. We've seen plenty of fabricated evidence online with this case. Basically, we've seen pictures that have been photoshopped. We've seen other people throw accusations out. Photos done by some of the media elements, whereas basically they threw pictures up of pictures with Vic Mignogna hugging or kissing someone on there and saying, look, they're cringy and stuff like that. And those people in the pictures have come back and says, please take those pictures down. That never happened. I don't know why you're using my picture in your article, but that never happened. And it's happened plenty of times on there, and we discussed this many a times on this show and the American Asylum, but the way the mainstream media, has been very fake news, which it is the truth. And online, you have some of these online what we call little messaging boards. I don't call them articles or newspapers. They claim themselves they're the best in reporting and what their news are. No, they're not. They're just basically writing down things that just basically doesn't correspond to what's going on. And they've interjected themselves. You don't interject yourself. If you're writing an article as a news piece, you don't interject yourself into the situation itself. Don't become part of the story. Plain and simple. We discussed this before. We're already seeing now with the Project Veritas video that just came out recently how much the CNN has interjected themselves into the elections on there. And, you could take it as a grain of salt or really as a major situation. Don't take it from me alone. Go out and do the research yourself. Do what we do here at Q2Cast. We go look into these things. Especially like with the Vic Mignogna case. Before we started reporting this, we looked into it. And we were checking everything out, and nothing made sense. When you look at situations and you see what people are writing, and you want to believe certain people, but when you look at it and you see the same things reported left in, left out, and it's not not from one particular person, that multiple people are putting out the same story in and out, you got to say to yourself, something's wrong here. Something is not right here. And, you got to go further into it. And that's what we did. And basically, when we look at this situation, we cite that basically this should be in trial. This should be in trial. A court should be deciding this. Plain and simple. And when you have people being threats, death threats and stuff like that, you got to say to yourself, we got to ramp this up, because basically, you can't let these people, and it's a small percenter that's out there. And I keep saying this is a small percenter that just don't care. They don't care about what the facts are, what's the evidence and stuff like that. They think everything is, whatever everybody says is directly straight and narrow when it comes to accusations like this. Yes, there are people who are sexually assaulted in the world and raped and stuff like that, and it's a tragedy on there. But, when you have people who come up and just make up stuff, just for the attention, or just that they just really just are insane, for some people, or jealous of certain people, you don't do that, because there are people out there that just basically have gone through situations and they're trying to come forward, and you're making it worse for them. And seeing it from this perspective, where from way back, I've worked on shows that discuss this, this topic about, people making the accusations and stuff like that. And, when you had stuff like, the Duke Lacrosse case and Tawana Brawley, I can go on and on and on and poke a lot of stories going way, way back. We did that episode where we talked about many different stories and stuff that went way back to the silent film days, where people made accusations like that on, when you talk about something and you say, well, yeah, I know he did it. You have your opinion. I can understand that. You have your opinion in your situations where basically whether you believe, disbelieve. But when you use that as a weapon against the accuser, you've become part of the case. Like I said, take from what I say, just from what I'm saying, and go out and look for yourself. That's always the best thing to do. Look for yourself, research it for yourself like we do, and you'll understand. You'll understand and see the difference, and start to say, and start to question. See, and that's the first thing you do. You have to question certain things. Certain evidence, you look at it and you're like saying, well, yeah, here, this has got to go to court. It has to go to court. And then there are other cases where, you sit there and you're like, what? Why is this going to court? Why are there so many misconceptions, changes in the testimonies and stuff like that? Why are people, commenting that they said they were there, but they were not there, that this is secondhand, and they're using secondhand or what we call hearsay. And we discussed this before. This is the same thing that is going on with the impeachment situation. You're taking a whistleblower's, words. It's just hearsay that he's heard secondhand from other people. Do we trust those other people? I don't know. We're just hearing what this person says. That person may have twisted other people's words. And this happens. So comment below. Tell me how you, my viewer, feels about this. How, we put ourselves in situations where, we look at this and say, this should be going to trial. This should be appealed. I mean, 100%, it should be appealed. This should get its full due process. It's not to say to hurt somebody. It's just to put to the situation where people shouldn't get away with what they're trying to do. Whether you like this guy or not, it doesn't matter. If you don't like this guy, fine. That's your opinion. You don't like Vic Mignogna, that's your opinion. But if you sit there and you make an effort to try to hurt his career, hurt his livelihood, hurt his family, you're going to be, sitting in a courtroom. You're going to be seeing a judge, because that is wrong. That is just literally wrong. You would not want that to happen to you. You wouldn't want someone to do that to you. So once again, comment below. Tell me how you feel about it. Don't forget to hit that subscription, hit that like. Thank you for tuning in on this edition of Man with the Show on CudaCast TV. We will see you on the next video. Be sure check back. We should have a little bit more coming on this case. If not, check on the Ricada Law site. Plenty of information they give you. Same thing with Yellow Flash, that Umbrella guy, Hero High. Those guys, they've been putting out a lot of info. So do check up on them as well. Send them some subscription love and likes as well. So until the next video, we'll see ya. Peace.